Is Theodore Bruckner any good? This is not an idle question since a lot of people apparently are saying no. I will say this, Bruckner is a jock. He's riding in to smack people, and he's good at it. So in that sense, yeah, he's good. He even has 2 meaningful army buffs and some very decent map passives. Regardless, we don't go by rumor here. We open the Demigryph's mouth and take a good look inside. Yes, that sounds dangerous, so let's dive right in. Recruited by Campaign Dilemma, Bruckner has 4,660 health as a foot hero on Ultra, with 100 armor, no shield, missile resistance standard 15%, leadership 18, speed 35, charge speed 44, melee attack begins at a solid 60, attack interval of 4, medium splash target size, and a max targets damaged of 8, on par with an Empire Captain. Melee defense starts at 50, very Captain-like, and weapon strength comes at 460, split between base 300 and armor piercing 160. The charge bonus is 40 and mass is 1100. Right out of the box, Bruckner has access to Titan Headsman, a hex on a single target, 90-second cooldown, 75-meter range, 29-second duration. The target suffers minus 45% speed and minus 24 melee defense, not just helping him, but helping anyone else with a clean shot at the target. Keep in mind, there is no edict from the Emperor stopping you from applying accusation to the target too if a witch hunter is handy. The real fun begins when Bruckner gets on Reaper, his personal, XL-sized Demigryph mount. Becoming a large entity, Bruckner is considered to have 5,680 health, speed 75, charge speed 110, melee attack 55 base, attack interval slows to 4.7, that's because he's using a lance. Splash remains unchanged. Melee defense starts at 40, weapon strength is 460, but is now split between base 160 and AP 300, with charge bonus 60 and mass 2200. The XL Demigryph inflicts both fear and terror. As an embedded agent, Bruckner brings training, the usual bonuses I've covered for Empire Captain. Spread Control is his map passive. As an agent, he can assault units, assassinate, and assault garrison. All very good things, with specialists reducing the cost of these actions, but I usually feel legendary heroes are wasted outside of an army, so only do this if you genuinely have no army ready to receive him. For the yellow line, it's mostly standard, but with a couple of huge, glaring exceptions. Third place in the starting line is Indomitable, so you can gain higher morale faster, and in the latter 4 you have Fleet-Footed included, helping him with ground speed on his mount. Midway, you get the usual deadly onslaught at a very unusual juncture, making room for heroic killing blow as the capstone. An exceptionally simple skill. This has 25 seconds duration, 90-second cooldown, and adds 50% to both types of melee damage for the duration. For the top line, it's important to note that Reaper is gained at rank 11. Hold the Line is available at rank 6. It helps you and allies too, so why not? The rest is normal. Moving on to his personal line, oh my! Savage Soldier available at rank 12 stacks on Frenzy, immunity to psychology. For him you'd use it without his Demigryph mount, I suppose, and Sundered Armor as a contact effect, meaning only enemies immune to contact effects won't suffer minus 30 armor. He becomes an armor-piercing beast on a beast, but your witch hunters and Empire captains will appreciate the help. Fearsome Combatant adds a minus 4 leadership debuff to enemies in a 35-meter radius, constant effect. Why are they afraid? Because his weapon strength just got jacked up by 15%. Hound of Judgment gives Bruckner flat plus 50 armor piercing to every melee strike. In addition, he gets minus 35% cooldown to Titan Headsman, making him even more effective at riding down particular targets. Unknown Origins recognizes Bruckner's mystique, giving him 15% plot armor ward save, wound recovery time minus 2, and casualty replenishment plus 20% for Bruckner, meaning he recovers from battle damage much faster. Alpha Gryph grants plus 10% weapon strength to all Demigryph units in his own army, and has them cause terror in addition to the usual cause fear, which is redundant for the Regiment of Renown and a very welcome addition for everybody else. I note that Demigryphs were once Sigmar God tier in Total War Warhammer 1, toned down heavily for most of the time since. They were always at least somewhat strong, but no one in the Empire specifically boosted them that I can recall. Unless it's Wolfhard and I've never played him, so whatever. No one has. I jest. But the point being, this is kind of special to Bruckner, and it's not a bad thing. Finally, Champion of Nuln allows full-time perfect vigor, which is always amazing on melee heroes and lords, and invokes the Hand of Judgment if within 30 meters of an enemy lord or hero. Under such conditions, Bruckner becomes unbreakable and gains the Executioner trait, instantly ending units in combat if they are below 20% health. I mean, there's nothing here that says the targets must be lords or heroes, so cutting off that War Hydra's final head is a-okay. Then you can finish off the Beastmaster. It's not over, because we need to talk about his items. The one central to the plot from which Thrones of Decay content is based is the Bale Flame Amulet from Elspeth herself. This item offers Bruckner 10% spell resistance, -3 corruption to local provinces, and immunity to attrition for his entire army. I want to emphasize that this item alone, completely isolated from all the other benefits of Bruckner, makes him good, because it is aggravating and annoying to help allies in the middle of corruption and be unable to ambush outside a settlement or something like that without suffering substantial attrition damage. Attrition is one of your biggest shackles on strategic movement when pushing offensively against the forces of chaos or darkness. Totally aside from that, if Bruckner dies in a duel, a single enemy will take 200 damage per second for 7 seconds, and an 8-meter radius vortex will do 100 more damage to whatever's there, in addition to a 2-second explosion. Also, this is a video game version and he's a legendary hero, so if he quote-unquote dies in battle, you don't even care. Especially if he has -2 wound recovery time and a camp follower to reduce that further. So duel away. Death isn't that bad. Liar's Bane the weapon offers +3 control to local province and bonus versus infantry +12. The ability is 60-second cooldown, 28 seconds duration, and self-buffs to the tune of +40 melee attack and +24 melee defense. That is really substantial. Stormlance enables magical attacks for Bruckner, very important for demon hunting, grants charge bonus +10% to his entire army, something that was foully stripped from Karl Franz in his otherwise great 5.0 rework, and grants the namesake ability with 2 uses, 120-second cooldown between them, 32 seconds duration each time, and this is a self-buff, granting Bruckner flaming attacks, +75% base and armor-piercing melee damage, and +40% charge bonus. If you're wondering what stops you from having Stormlance, Liar's Bane, Deadly Onslaught, and Heroic Killing Blow on at the same time, with Titan Husband running on your target, nothing stops you from doing this. At all. One more thing. There's a set bonus running when wearing all 3 items, granting +1 control to all provinces and inflicting -5 leadership to enemy armies in the same region. So how do you use Bruckner after all of that? Well, he can't fly. He has the potential to be an extremely robust character killer, also helping out a ton against monsters and so on. On foot, Bruckner can face tank a force for you, trying to slow it down for your gun lines, and that can work too. One way or another, he stiffens your forces and makes them less squishy in the face of vile things, but he has no obvious answer to serious ranged firepower on foot. On his mount, he just becomes better at what he already does, and becomes a picture-perfect leader of cavalry. You can have him YOLO a unit of Black Knights, tackle them up, and then smash into them from the side with Demigryphs or Knights of the Blazing Sun. Empire captains might feel wasted if you don't get them up in the sky, but that's never an issue with Bruckner. Also, his ability makes him a lot more able than most to go chasing down some slippery goblin shaman on a mount and really pouring on the pain. Basically, he's a mix of general high-energy mounted combatant and bringing more character assassination than most political races. If something is on the ground, or gets on the ground, he can smack it, and he's probably going to hurt it pretty extensively. If he dies, that's what Bale Flame Amulet is for. Thanks, Elspeth! Nah, it's not complicated, but it shouldn't be. He's just actually good at reaching out and mauling someone. Take him up on it. Half the griff, all the pain. Higher ranks just make him better at it. Note that I haven't discussed synergies whatsoever because he doesn't need them. Of course, any you can find helps further. I have mentioned witch hunters, there will be others. Take care, and have fun making the Terrorgeist fear you.